This is the College Football Cheat Sheet on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Indeed, it is. Thanks, big voice guy. Hey, here we go, talking college football. The College Football Cheat Sheet brought to you by R.S. Andrews. Keep cool. Get an R.S. Andrews Precision AC tune-up. Another way they make you smile at rsandrews.com. The countdown is almost over. John Michaels has been working his butt off, writing articles for 929thegame.com. Now, John is on record saying, I didn't go to school very much. He's also on record saying, neither am I a writer. Do I like writing? I'm not very good at it. All that stuff he has said. And I love the self-deprecation. And what I have said is, because I see you working and tick, 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 tick on the keyboard. I see you typing and working, John, and it's impressive, okay, because it's extra work. They're not paying you extra for that, okay? It's a solid you're doing 929thegame.com. But I said to Sean Thompson, our assistant program director, this is the most John Michaels has written in a 2-week period in his entire life.
Yes, you're absolutely correct, because they would give us those book reports, and, I would do some things that probably would get me in trouble if they would have found out back then, but I would go to the encyclopedia and take word for word their write-ups of the books. How I only got like a B on some of that, I was like, wait a second, Encyclopedia Britannica has this as a synopsis of the book. Why is mine wrong? But either way, I did what I had to do to get past school. But yeah, I wrote them. I had a lot of fun doing it. You can find it all at 929thegame.com. So we reveal, and you kind of know who the number one team is. My preseason number one team is the Clemson Tigers. Clemson number one, with the group that they bring back up front: Farrell, Lawrence, Austin Bryant, Kristen Wilkins. I was having, not an argument, just a debate and asking for submissions last night. Preseason hype, this could go down as the best defensive line of all time. Now, obviously, they have to go out and prove it this year. They have to go out and play to the level that they have. But you're talking about 4 guys. At least 3 of them are going to be first-round picks. At least 3 of them. That's saying a lot on the defensive line. Now, I've thought about some of the greats. Florida State in '96 with Andre Wadsworth, Peter Boulware, Renard Wilson, just disgustingly nasty. The 1995 Nebraska team, and we're going to do some of this more tomorrow. They had Grant Wistrom. They had the Peters brothers, Jason and Christian Peter, and they had one other guy. Disgustingly nasty. 1989 Miami, Cortez Kennedy, Russell Maryland, Greg Mark, all first-round picks. The late, great Shane Curry was a second-round pick. That was their starting defensive line. Alabama with Copeland and Curry in that group. So Clemson's got all of that to live up to. But you think about how great they're going to be on the defensive front. They've got a really good offensive line coming back, headlined by Mitch Hyatt, one of the great left tackles in college football. Travis Etienne, T. Higgins. They've got stars everywhere on the offensive side. It literally comes down to Kelly Bryant, and if he can't get the job done, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. And Clemson's going to go undefeated this year. They will be in the college football playoff once again.
I don't agree with a single word you just said. Now, here's the thing. You've got Clemson as your preseason number one.
Yep.
I need to follow up and ask you, are they also your pick to win it all?
Haven't decided that yet. They are in my playoff.
Come on.
Again, there'll be an article up at 929thegame.com.
Another one?
Oh, yeah, I'll make predictions.
You're not done?
No, I'll make some
I thought
predictions.
you were closing down shop on the peck.
I absolutely have them in the playoffs. But I have not picked who's going to be my national champion. I actually, when we did our draft, I drafted Alabama. I had the first pick, so I took Alabama.
Ooh.
Because it was Paul, did you get
Spoiler
Clemson?
alert.
You had the second pick, I believe.
I'll have to go back and look.
I have no idea.
I
took college football teams. That's all I can tell you.
I have Bama, and I have Texas and Miami. I don't remember who the fourth team
Didn't I have to take Penn State and Oklahoma? Wasn't I 4-5 on the little snake around?
You didn't have to take them.
So if you want to know who has who.
Yes.
John has Bama, Miami, Washington, and Texas. Rick has OSU, Oklahoma, Stanford, and Michigan.
Whoa, who does Rick have?
Ohio
OSU,
State.
Oklahoma, Stanford, and Michigan.
You have Ohio State, Oklahoma. That's my 3 and 5. You got 2 good teams.
MO has UGA, Auburn, Nebraska, and UCF. I have Clemson.
UCF.
I have
You
Clemson,
knucklehead.
Penn State, Wisconsin, and USC.
Wow, you got your top 3 are really good. Clemson.
Give me yours again, Preacher Man.
Clemson, Penn State, Wisconsin.
Okay, I throw shade on Scotty all the time, but they're in the running.
They are.
They're in the running.
So I asked the question, Rick, and I just tweeted this, and it's up at John Michaels 929. I'll ask you, out of my top 10, and I'm going to run through them so you remember who my top 10. Who is the most wrongly ranked? Because that's how Paul wrote it. Clemson 1, Bama 2, Ohio State 3, Georgia 4, Oklahoma 5, Miami 6, Wisconsin 7, Auburn 8, Penn State 9, Washington 10.
None. If I had to pick one, it'd be Auburn.
Too high, too low?
A little bit too high. I think 10. I think the coaches poll has them at 10, and I am right about that. John, I'm nitpicking. Your rankings are within 1 or 2 of the range where they should be. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have Michigan at 7. Okay, that'd be something I could sink your battleship on. You don't have Notre Dame at 9. I could sink your battleship on that. The Washington thing, look, you've got them at 10. I'm fine with that. The coaches poll has them at 6.
Yeah.
I think they're more of a 10 than a 6, right? So I want to get shady with you, John. I want to go Jason Cole on you, John, but I can't. I pretty much agree with your rankings.
You say Washington is more of a 10 than a 6? A lot of your 10s actually are 6s.
Well played. Well played.
So here's a couple of responses I'm getting on the Twitter machine, and you guys can chime in as well. Here's from Matt Miles. He said, Georgia's too high, but it's fine. I enjoy seeing all of their hopes crushed. Luke responds at ATL Bravesman, says, don't really see why you have Ohio State over Georgia. I'd flip that.
To me, it's a coin flip between those two teams.
Ron, I'm not sure if this is Ronnie from Jersey Shore. Maybe he's got some Ron juice. Said Georgia should be number 1.
In your hearts.
Yeah, they are. Brian Gant tweets me and says Washington's too low, but the 10 teams you have are perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, it is a solid 10. I think you can draw a line. The coaches poll has Notre Dame at 11, Michigan State at 12, Stanford at 13, Michigan at 14, USC at 15. None of those teams are like top 10. None of those teams, to me, are like, oh, John, how the hell did you not have one of those teams in the top 10? I think there's a firm top 10 in college football.
So the last couple of years, we've had a non-top 10 preseason team make it to the playoffs. Georgia was a non-top 10 preseason. Weren't they like 13th or 14th last year? I don't think Georgia was a top 10 team. Washington, the year previous, I'm almost positive, was not a preseason top 10. Michigan State, I believe the year before that, a non-preseason top 10.
Right.
So it's been set right now that non-top 10 teams have made the playoffs, Rick. If you look right now.
Stanford.
Really?
I don't like any of them. I mean, you're putting me on the spot here. I don't think Notre Dame is making the playoff.
Hell.
Michigan State's got too much of a gauntlet. So does Michigan. I'd go USC, but I don't know who their quarterback is. I know who Stanford's quarterback is. I know they have Bryce Love. They got a bunch of returning starters. Okay, it's a total reach, John, but I would say Stanford.
It is tough. For me, it's Texas. And I know I'm in love with Texas a lot more than anybody else. Maybe it's because Carl wore the hat yesterday. Nobody gave him crap for wearing the hat. But I would like Texas as a team because you have an easier route in the Big 12. They're going to get some major payback against Maryland to start the year, and they've got 2 quarterbacks that can play.